am Father Don Wolf, pastor of St. Eugene in Oklahoma City. To grow in the Christian life is to be united more and more to the person of Christ. Many times we imagine this to be something handed off to the professionals. In our day and time, these are not necessarily priests or sisters. In previous years, they were the ones who wrote the books and started movements. In our day, the professionals are the commentators who seem to have the time and energy and the professional vocabulary to do all of that. Interestingly, in our day and time, it seems to be many more women than men, and many more of those who have comfortable lives and spare time, rather than those who are rushing to make the world work and life happen. The professionals who write and talk about drawing closer to Christ are the same people who have time to paint, to read and travel, or so it seems. They don't sound like most of us. It's a kind of professional elite. But we're all invited to grow more closely united to Christ. The church describes this as the universal call to holiness. It's something we're all a part of. It's universal because it's for everyone. Our desire to be linked to the presence of God is part of the hunger of the human heart for transcendence. We look out of our lives and we want more. And we want more no matter how much we have, how old we are, how gifted we've become, or how successful are our lives. As St. Augustine wrote more than 1,600 years ago, "You have made us for yourself, O Lord. Our hearts are restless until they rest in you." That's what's universal. It's a call. Our names are spoken to us and we are called out of our regular lives and into something extraordinary. Remember the story of St. Paul on his way to Damascus? He saw a blinding light and was struck down. There was a booming voice that asked, "Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me?" The voice went on to identify himself as Jesus. Paul was given instructions about what to do. He followed the instructions and it resulted in his complete conversion. But the scriptures are very clear that his companions also heard the voice, but it had no effect on them. Their lives went on as before. They weren't called by name. We are. It's a call to holiness. This is closeness to God and God's will. It's not necessarily the awareness of God. Jesus, the Son of God, died on the cross with the words, God, why have you abandoned me?" on his lips. And yet his life was intimately tied to God and God's will. Holiness is to fulfill the work and the will of God in our lives. It is to know that God is working his plan and his will in the world through our hands, our intelligence, our words, and our feelings. Knowing that we are a part of God's work, that our lives have eternal meaning. When God draws close, we're invited into holiness. We're all called to be holy. I am Father Don Wolf.